Thanks for joining today's last session, and thanks for staying with me before all the parties, wines, and drinks. Yeah. We know that Gen AI is reshaping everything inside of your organization, and yes, it's happening inside of Snowflake too. I'm here to talk about how this advanced techniques is making a big difference here in Snowflake. Hope you can get inspired so that you can find similar opportunities in your organization. And for those who are not familiar with Snowflake, have you ever used Snowflake? Please raise a hand. Oh, nice, nice, nice. For those who are not familiar with Snowflake, we are a data cloud platform that help organizations to run large-scale analytics, create custom applications, and also build native AI solutions. And my name is Chen. I'm the data scientist in sales analytics team, and my role is all about helping salespeople leverage data to help them to work smarter and more efficiently. And also another big shout out to my colleague Wei Huai, who is currently on vacation, so no complaint there. So she's missing out this fun party. She's also played a big part on today's topic. Okay, let's get started. So what I'm going to talk about today, basically we're going to talk about a tool is called Sales Data Assistant that we built for sales team for them to interact with their data, basically chat with their data. So they can get access to customer-related metrics or some business performance data. And also, it has another cool features is it can help salespeople to handle certain tasks. And I will go in to show some video demos at the end of the presentation so that you can know what it looks like. Okay, cool. So for today's agenda, first we will talk about how we start, why we build this tool, what's our goal. And second, I will walk you through some requirements, both technical and non-technical, when we start building the app. And next, I will talk about the high-level architecture on how we structured everything together. And second is I will show you guys how it looks. And we will for sure leave some time for Q&A. But if just in case we're running short of time, I'm happy to answer any questions after today's session. Cool, let's get started. So, but before we dive in, let's take a step back to talk about how we started and why we need this tool. And here, our goal is to democratize data, basically to make data easy to access for everyone in sales organization. And sometimes, not sometimes, we always find that for those people who make the decisions are the people not actually the data expert. So that as a result, we will see that they may do not have access to the data, or they don't know how to write query or SQL to pull the data, or they just spend a lot of time navigating through different dashboards to find the metric that they think is correct. So that is where our tool comes in. And we want to make sure that the whole process can be quicker and faster. So for salespeople, they don't need actual steps to get the data they need. So with the tool, we hope that they can chat with the data. They can ask any question they want, for example, about their customers or about their territories or even their team's performance. And things doesn't stop there. We also hope that this chatbot, this data assistant, can help them with some everyday simple task. For example, when salespeople want to update something directly to Salesforce, in this case, they don't need to jump into different system. They can just interact with the data assistant, and then assistant can help them to finish this workflow. So at the end of the day, it's all about helping salespeople to get data easily and streamlining their work so that they can focus on what really matters. For example, close the deal or manage the customer relationship, right? And here I'm going to show you like some requirements, both technical and non-technical, when we start building the app. First, let's look at it from the user's perspective. Let's think, what kind of tool do you want to use every day? In our opinion, I think it should be easy to use, fast, accurate, and secure. And those are the 4 main pillars that guided us when we're developing the tool. And on the other hand is the technical building blocks. Those are the key building blocks we're focused on when we developing the tool. First is the text to SQL, because we are a data platform and all the informations are stored in Snowflake database. So we need to leverage and using LLM to query the data and then send the correct data to our non-technical users. And to be honest, the text to SQL is a really big one for us, and we spend a lot of time on this. And the second building block is data to text. What does this mean is, after we get a query, and we will run a query, it will give us output, basically the data. And we also want to find a way to translate the data into a natural language summary so that the non-technical users can understand it more easily with a simple and clear text response. So that's the data to text. And the last building block here is the AI agent. We want to use the agent to help us to handle the task completion functionality by using LLM. And once users send us a request, it can go into our set of tools and to select the right functions or the right tools to call per user's request. So that's all about the technical and non-technical requirements we focused on. Cool. Here is how we put everything together. How did we structure our data assistant? First, let's look at this part. Is our UI. We are using Streamlit to build our user interface. We want to provide a very ChatGPT-like experience for our users, so they can easily ask questions and then get a response. For those who are not familiar with Streamlit, Streamlit is an open source Python framework that allows all the data teams to build an interactive app with just few lines of Python code. Yeah, and after the user asks a question, we will first send it to the semantic clear. What's semantic clear? You can think it as a knowledge base for our large language model. It stored all the information that we want the LLM to know. For example, the summary of the tables, some correct text-to-SQL examples, and all the functions that can help the users to handle the task or the useful tips. And once user asks something, the assistant will go to the semantic clear and search for the most relevant information. So it can be the top tables that are related to the questions or some accurate, correct text-to-SQL examples. And after we get all the relevant information, we'll then combine it with the prompts, where includes the system instructions, basically how we are guiding the large language model to finish a text-to-SQL task, and also top table schema together with the chat history, and combining the information we fetch from semantic layer and prompts, we will send it to the large language model. And the large language model will then give us a response. The response is a SQL. And it comes to the next step is called validation. And in my opinion, I think that's the most critical steps for our app, because building a chatbot is very easy, but building a reliable chatbot is a different story. So in these steps, we applied different approach here. First, we've let the LLM itself to validate the SQL query it generates. Actually, have been really helpful. And additionally, our team together manually validated over thousands of text-to-SQL response. And then we polished the prompts based on all the data we got. And over the time, those validated text-to-SQL response has become our golden standard. And now we're thinking to automate the whole validation process to leverage the golden standard data set we already have. Okay, so after we get a validated SQL, we will then do some testing and then send back to Snowflake to execute the query, which will give us data, basically a data frame as an output. And it finally comes to the last step is convert the data to text. We want to translate the data into a natural language summary. And here we're using Snowflake Cortex LLM. Here is the key that when we're using Cortex LLM, everything stays completely within Snowflake. We're not sending the data to the closed source model or no. Everything is within Snowflake, and everything is secure and well managed. And once we got a response, we will send it back to the Streamlit app, and the users will see the answers. And the users are also able to give us some feedback, and the feedbacks can also send back to us and will feed into the ongoing validation process, so that we can always improving the whole systems. And also we're also tracking the user feedbacks because we want to understand the overall satisfaction rate. Yeah, hopefully that's not too much information on one slide. Yeah, so I'm moving forward. And here are some Snowflake features that powering us to build a data assistant. First is the Streamlit. Just like I mentioned before, Streamlits provide a user-friendly front end for the users to easily interact with our data assistant. And on the other hand, I think as an app developer, it's also very user-friendly, because when building an interactive app with Streamlit, there's only minimal setup, low maintenance, and it works perfectly with Snowflake and all the cool features that Snowflake provides. Yeah, that's the Streamlit. And also other components is the Cortex LLM. For those who are not familiar with Snowflake Cortex LLM, so what's that? Snowflake Cortex LLM is a set of AI features that are using large language model to help the users to understand their data, answer questions, or provide some smart assistance. And with Cortex LLM, everyone can easily get access to the industry-leading large language model like Mr. Large, Llama, etc. Yeah, and with Snowflake Cortex LLM, everything is serverless. What does this mean is, as a user, when you call the function, you don't need to deal with all the complicated infrastructure, because Snowflake already handled everything for you. So that's Snowflake Cortex LLM. And what we're using here is we're using complete function under the Cortex LLM, which leverages the Mr. Large language model for natural language understanding and response generation. Also, the embedding model under the Cortex LLM help us to build the knowledge base, the semantic layer. Also help the assistant to fetch the most relevant information from the knowledge base. Okay, so that's about the Cortex LLM. And the last Snowflake components is Snowpark UDF. UDF stands for User-Defined Function. And here, what Snowpark UDF did is it allowed us to run and create custom Python code inside of Snowflake. Maybe some of you know, you can write SQL in Snowflake, but by using UDF, you can write Python in Snowflake. So it helps us to automate some workflow, like push some update directly to another system, and you can build all kinds of data workflow using Snowpark UDF. So with Streamlit, Cortex LLM, Snowpark, all together we have everything we need to make the data assistant powerful, fast, and easy to use. Cool. Now let's take a look at how it looks in real life. Actually, prior to the data assistant, last year, November, we already launched our first text to SQL applications for our sales team, and which only allow users to ask one question at a time and finish the text to SQL. And then after we get the results, we can do some charts based on what kind of data we have. Yeah, and these applications have been super popular among our sales team, and we've received a lot of good feedbacks, which motivate us to keep moving and improving. And some status I want to share is like since last year, November, this applications already answered over 10,000 questions, and the adoption rate is very high. Over 80% of our sales users, they all come here to ask some questions to help them to ask any question related to their customers. And also for the satisfaction rate is over like 95%. And moving forward, it comes to this year. This year, we've started building the data assistant, which basically we build something on top of the text to SQL applications I just showed you, by adding a data to text building block, and also adding the task completion functionality, also create a more interactive chatbot for the users. So as you can see here, it's like we're asking questions about their forecast numbers, about their opportunities, so on and so forth. And actually, the response time is not that bad. It's still under developing, and we hope we can move this product into production next quarter. Okay, moving forward, like I mentioned before, like another cool feature that our data assistant provide is it can help salespeople to execute some task. What does this mean is, like let's think about you are a salesperson, and when you're interactive with our data assistant, if you find some data is outdated or you need to update, so at this time you can use the assistant to help you to update the data. And here, what we're doing here, we are trying to update an account, Global 2000 ranking, and we want to push it directly to Salesforce. And all the numbers here are dummy data. We just want to show you how it works. So in the back end, how it works is we stored a lot of tools that we collaborate with IT team. They're like reverse ETL, help you to push the update into different systems. So when user asks a question, the agent will help us to pick the most relevant tools and then run that function. Here is like it looks like it finished the task. Let's say how it looks like in Salesforce. Previously, I think is -2. Right now, it should be -1. Yeah. So you can see that we can use. You don't need to bounce into different systems by working with the assistant. You can make any update you want. Okay. So I think it's almost at the end of this session. So for what's next, I think the most important is accuracy, accuracy, and accuracy. Like I said before, building a chatbot is easy, but building an accurate but reliable one is not. And also another requirement we're thinking right now is scalability, because with the growing number of users and increasing data volumes, we want to find a way that can smoothly handle everything. Also, we want to apply this infrastructure into other teams' data. And we think that the future is super exciting because every day are new things coming out. Whenever it is new models, new frameworks, or new tools, and we're just ready to jump onto these opportunities and keep improving. There's just so much potential ahead, and we're just at the beginning. And also, last is a quick recap for today. What we just talked about is like What's our goal? Our goal is to reimagine analytics with Gen AI to make data easy to access for everyone. And what the building blocks we mentioned, non-technical and technical. Non-technical includes easy to use, fast, secure. And the technical side, we think about like text to SQL, data to text, and AI agent. Also, there's some cool Snowflake features help us to build a tool like Streamlit, Snowflake Cortex, and also Snowpark UDF. And at the end, we saw a few quick video demos on how it looks. So like I said, it's just beginning. We're super excited to where we can take this next. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Yu, for the presentation on empowering sales with LLM-powered
Data
insights. And
workflow automation. Sorry.
And workflow automation. Excellent. So we have time for a few questions. We have Shazara and Kanatika in the back. So they're gonna walk around with microphones.
Yeah, I was curious, what were some of the questions that users would try to ask, but the system, like in the current state, like really struggles with?
I think it depends on what kind of data we feed into the model. Right now, what we are currently testing is including customers' consumption data, their team's performance data, and also use case data, opportunity data. Yeah, so right now, the data system only support those kind of topics. And if they're asking any topic outside of this data set, the data system are not able to answer a question. But we have a plan to onboard more tables. Yeah.